You're about to hear about a woman who went through a breakup and decided to go to Antarctica with 2 weeks' notice, who then summited Mount Everest just 4 months after that, and who is now on a journey to work through fear from the world's highest mountains to public speaking to audiences not in her first language. This is See Her Outside, Stories from Women Who Adventure. I'm your host, Angie Lake. Is anyone else feeling the whiplash of somehow already being July? It's prime adventure season for many of us, and we hope that you're getting out to your favorite wild spaces. In case you have a long drive ahead, or maybe you want to listen to a great conversation on your next hike, I wanted to give you 3 recommendations for past See Her Outside episodes, some from very long ago that you might have missed. If you're wondering how you can blend your outdoor passions with advocacy for a community, search the episode feed for Alex Garcia's episode back in February of 2025. Alex shared really helpful insight on how you can support people that you care about while you're adventuring and not burn out from activism. If you're in a big city and you want to train for a big wilderness adventure, then you'll love our June 2025 episode with Rachel Fagiano. They embraced urban training and creative resource sharing to go on an Aconcagua expedition, and now they make adventure more accessible to others. And if you've ever had a scary moment while outdoors, then you've got to listen to our episode with Sarah Histand on nervous system regulation and co-regulation with nature. This was from September 2025, and I still think about the tips that Sarah shared with us then. So go bookmark an episode of See Her Outside to listen to this weekend, and then settle in for today's conversation. Antonina Samoilova is the first Ukrainian woman to summit the 5 highest mountains on Earth. In 2024, she made history by summiting Everest and Lhotse in a single day. Antonina has navigated the demands of building a business, working in media, and training at elite levels in one of the most male-dominated arenas in the world. Her mission is to help women challenge their limiting narratives, take bold first steps, and claim space at every summit of their lives. Here's Antonina.
I didn't have too much relations with nature when I was a kid. I was kind of a city girl growing up in the city in Ukraine. And what I really loved about nature is to read books. And I liked geography as well at school. And since childhood, for me, Himalayas, mountains, and Everest were something magical. But I never thought in my life that I could climb Everest or K2. And that was interesting case. I had a tape with a movie called Vertical Limit at home. It's about K2 expedition. And I was watching it again and again, and I was so amazed by the whole process and about this movie. Now, when I rewatched it after I summited K2, I understood that it's more like, it's like very unrealistic. But yeah, but still, till now, I could say that was the most impressive thing about mountains in my childhood, exactly this movie. And from my 10 years old, I knew about K2 somehow. I knew that it's super tough and difficult mountain. And of course, I never even dreamt of climbing it. But life changed dramatically.
Did you have any female role models? Were there women even in that movie, or was it all men?
In the movie, you mean?
Yeah.
No, I even don't remember all the characters there, but and no, it was mostly about the whole process. So I liked the, like I told you, like I felt some kind of a magic in these mountains. All this high altitude journey inspired me very much.
What is access to nature like in Ukraine or in your city that you were growing up in? Were you able to access mountains or any outdoor spaces?
Actually, the highest point of Ukraine is just 2,065 meters. It's Mount Hoverla. So we do have mountains, but they are more like hills, I could say, yeah? And I've never been to that mountain till now. So I never climbed the highest point of Ukraine, shame on me. And the area from where I am, it's a very central part of Ukraine, and it's completely flat. So we had only forests. But what is really interesting that in the school where I was studying, we had this hikings, like huge hikings with the whole school going for 3 days to the Dnipro River, and it was the most exciting 3 days in the whole year for me. So I was familiar, I was acquainted with hiking, with tents and everything, and I liked it very much, but nothing with mountains.
How did you get to the mountains then? What steps did you take?
My first mountain was Kilimanjaro.
That was your first mountain?
Yeah, my first mountain,
Wow.
Kilimanjaro. It's a bit less than 6,000 meters. And it happened in 2018 when I was almost 30 years old. So that was my first mountain ever. And of course, at that moment, I didn't know anything about altitude, like how it influences the body and how it influences the weather overall. So I was going to Kilimanjaro, like to Africa, and it's almost equator. And I thought that what can be there? So I didn't take any proper clothes with me. I was so careless. And even like this story now is like a small legend that I went there in a super thin purple jacket because I supposed it was like cool one. So I was almost freezed on the summit night because it was around minus 15 degrees below zero Celsius, I mean. So it was like super cold, very tough. When I came down, I told to myself, that's it. That's my first and last mountain. Never again. So it was very difficult for me. I didn't enjoy at all, like the on the way, yeah, and especially the summit night was very difficult. I was struggling all the way. I felt the altitude very much. So I mean, altitude changes everything, how the person feels. And of course, in the death zone, which is the altitude higher than 8,000, you feel like it's like a marble slab on you. So every step is difficult to make. But talking about my first mountain experience, it was exactly Kilimanjaro.
So you went from thinking, oh, that's my last mountain, never doing that again, to eventually climbing some much bigger mountains. What happened? What changed?
At one point, I fell in love with mountains, and it was Antarctica expedition.
Oh.
Yeah. So after Kilimanjaro, 1 year, I think, after Kilimanjaro, of course, I forgot all the bad things. And I just remembered the journey, and it seemed like fun. And I climbed one more mountain and one more. So it was like one mountain in a year. And at one point, it was a tough personal moment in life for me. So I had the breakup, and I understood that I need to do something extraordinary to get out of my emotional state. So, because I already was a bit acquainted with mountains, I told myself there should be something in that area, yeah, but something really tough. So I found that expedition in Antarctica, and I just jumped in the last, minute. So it was 2 weeks before expedition started that I decided to go there. Yeah.
Whoa. How do you even prepare for Antarctica in 2 weeks?
I don't know. It was very fast preparation. So I was, in terms even of all the clothes and gear, yeah. I can say I'm just like quite strong physically from like naturally, yeah. So in terms of physical preparation, it was nothing. So I just went there. It was my, I told myself that's my ticket to a new life. And it happened like that. I came back from that expedition completely different person. I came back happy and completely in love with mountains and big expeditions. So everything changed at that point. And already being in Antarctica, I booked two more climbs. Yeah, and that's how my big mountain journey started. So after Antarctica, 4 months later, I was standing on top of Everest.
4 months after?
Yes,
You are really a quick mover.
yeah, I'm a quick mover, and it was very unexpectedly and it was unexpected for me, and like most important things in my life, by the way, everything was happening very fast. Same like with Antarctica mostly. So I decided 2 weeks before Everest expedition to go there as well.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Was this Mount Vinson in Antarctica or was it a different
yeah,
expedition? Oh,
mountain.
it was. Okay. So you were just starting off with the seven summits. Did you have that in mind from the get go?
Yes, at one point I had this idea because it was already Kilimanjaro, then it was Elbrus, and Vinson is the third one. So I was going that direction, yeah. But when I summited Everest, I understood that I want something bigger. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm not very much interested in lower mountains. It happens to many people who summit 8,000er. Same happened with me. So I just went like K2, Manaslu, and somehow I was lost in all those Himalayas.
They got your heart. What do you think actually changed in you? You said that you became a different person after Antarctica and then very quickly started moving up to bigger and bigger mountains. Like what changed about your character or your life that never changed back?
When I was in relations, I thought that I'm like more the part of the life of my boyfriend, yeah, and I didn't feel myself like a separate unit, and I wasn't sure that, like, I didn't know who I am because it was like quite long relations, more than 10 years, and when it was finished, I thought to myself, who am I? Okay, I'm Tonya, but inside I had this feeling probably people perceive me only like his girlfriend. And what's next? And then after Antarctica, when I went there completely alone with unknown people, and I understood that I'm Tanya and I'm like separate unit, and I'm uh, quite interesting to others, and the whole world opened to me, like the whole other world, new people, new friends, environment, and emotions, of course. And I came back confident in myself. Like I was confident that I will do something myself. No, like yeah, I felt the power inside. And
I very much relate to that. I was in a relationship once too where I just felt like I couldn't be my entirely true self. And that even held me back from doing some of the outdoor adventures that I wanted to do. And now, in a much healthier relationship and healthier life, I've been able to learn so much about myself and who I am at my core because of spending time outdoors. And then that, like you said, it reflects on the rest of your life too. You just meet more people, you find more opportunities when you're really trusting yourself and knowing like, hey, I can do this by myself.
yeah, and especially because it's like quite tough mountain and expedition to Mount Vinson. It gave me also this confidence in my physical strength, but also mental strength. I understood that I can do a lot of tough things, and that like gave me kind of cool feeling. Like I felt myself cool,
Yeah.
and that changed very much, yeah, my life overall. But because it changed me, so yeah, from that point, I could say my life started to be like a movie.
You're
And
the main
what I
character.
understood, yeah, that my main thing which I'm trying to deliver to people is that fear stops us from everything good. So when you have the fear and you do not overcome it, you will always stay at one point, and actually you will not develop yourself, and you will never get to the better life. And what I understand now, that fear is always like not a wall but a door, and this door opens to much better possibilities, but you need to have courage to overcome it, because fear always goes with you. It's not like someone is fearless. If you are fearless, you are stupid. Yeah. But you need to understand whether it's real fear, I mean, whether it's real danger, or it's just in your head. And most of the cases, it's exactly in your head. You're
Yeah.
just afraid to go into unknown. And before Antarctica, I went completely into unknown, and it changed my life completely. And then Everest, same, and K2, I could say, always same scenario repeated. So I was just overcoming myself
Yeah.
and my fear.
In any of those early mountains, do you have any stories of really working through opening the door towards a fear? Did anything really scary happen on Everest or Vincent or even Kilimanjaro that you had to work through?
I can say on every mountain there are some scary moments. I mean, on the high mountain. But for example, if it's your first mountain, even Kilimanjaro can be scary, you know? When you face for the first time something like some kind of crevasse, or you need to go to a vertical wall. Yeah, but I could say my very, very scary moment was this year on
Oh,
Kanchenjunga, which is the third highest mountain in the world, and it's very difficult. Incredibly long summit push night, and very tough and hard. And at the end, can you imagine, like, we are at around 8.4 meters, 1,000 meter high, and I was almost out of my oxygen in the bottle, and I had the spare one, of course, we always have. And we start to change, and somehow we realize that it doesn't work. Like, it's empty,
the spare one or the one that you're
the
using?
spare one.
Oh, wow. That's terrifying.
Yeah, it was like a big mistake. Somehow we did it, and I was with my Sherpa, yeah, and I understand that I even don't have enough oxygen to go down from this point. And at at the moment when you already was climbing around 12 hours in the night, like only up, you are completely exhausted, and to accept the point that maybe you need to come back down now without summit being like 1 hour to the summit only. But what what did we do? So I took my Sherpa, left me. He went down and gave me his
Oh,
bottle
wow.
of oxygen with a little bit oxygen left. And then the other guy, who was one of the leaders of expedition, told me on the way, it should be one full bottle of oxygen on the summit. And I asked him, is it for sure? But in these mountains, you are never sure. And he said it should be. So I just went there. I turned down my oxygen to the lowest which I could. Yeah, I mean the flow, because we can regulate the flow. And I was going up, and I was really scared, to be honest, for my life, because I understood that if there's no oxygen bottle on the top, maybe that's it. It was tough. Yeah, I was scared. I was devastated, I could say, at one point. But I was lucky. It was a bottle. I took
Wow.
it. Yeah, and safely went down. And it was, maybe I can say that was my most difficult summit push night from all which I had. Like, even K2 is not like that.
What made you keep going up when you knew it was such a risk and that you can't know for sure that you'll survive? You can't know for sure that there's oxygen at the summit. What drove you to keep going?
You know, I didn't have an option if to watch like that, because the oxygen which I had wasn't enough to go down as no anyhow.
I
So
see. So you had to summit in order to get more
to
oxygen.
get the whole bottle,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because it's illusion. And for example, I thought like that on my first Everest, on my first 8,000 expedition, that if you go down, like on a smaller mountain, then you don't need oxygen. Then it's okay. You can go down like that. It's very big mistake. You cannot. So approximately you take off the oxygen mask at the point where you put it on. Otherwise, you will just pass out. And I had this also kind of experience when I told on my first Everest going down that I'm okay. I will go without mask. I took it off, and after 10 steps, I just started to, like,
Right.
yeah, passing out, and I realized that it doesn't work like that. So on Kanchenjunga was the same. It was like either
Wow.
I go up and I get the full bottle, or big question at all.
Yeah. So I know you talk a lot about fear. That's just one example. And I'm curious about how your relationship to fear has changed compared to your life before mountaineering and now. It sounds like, for one, you've reframed it as it's a door to go through instead of somewhere to like stop and give up. But is there anything else that fear has taught you about, especially about being a woman or being a Ukrainian woman who's setting records?
I can say that we all have fears, all of us, yeah, and it's only how we cope with it. And what I would like to deliver, especially to women, that sometimes you just need to close your eyes and make this step over the fear. That's it. There's no other way. There will never be a moment when you are ready for something. You are ready enough. You will always think that you are not. So you just stop, take a breath, make this first step, and that's it. You're already in the new story, yeah, and you need to act according that new circumstances. And this what mountains taught me, and this is what I want to deliver to others. Sometimes of course, you need to separate the real danger and the fear in the head, because sometimes it's real danger in the mountains, and if you do not understand it, it can cost your life.
Right.
Yeah. So
especially like K2 is one of the most deadly climbs. It has one of the highest fatality rates of any mountain in the whole world, right? So what's it like putting yourself in that environment? What's going through your mind as it comes to risk and fear? I mean, isn't it something like 25% of climbers that attempt K2 die on K2? Yeah.
Like very high fatality rate.
How do you even mentally get in that state to climb it?
What I always think to myself is, other people did it. Why I should be worse? If other did it already, then I can go and do. And Everest was climbed by so many climbers before, these 50 years, and K2 as well. So when I went to K2, it was also like it was quite rapid decision from my side. I just heard the conversation of a lady who was with me on Everest, and when she came down, she asked the leader of expedition whether she can go for K2, and he answered her, yes, you can try. And I saw myself I saw her and myself on Everest, and I saw that maybe I'm a bit stronger. And then I thought, if she is going, why I cannot try? Because the whole image of K2 as well was like in my head, that is like not a mountain, it's a beast, and it's a killer mountain. It is like that. But then when you are there, you just need to be very careful. and you need to make everything dependent on you to be safe. So to keep all the rules and to struggle, of course, is like very hard. It's almost vertical from base camp to the summit. Yeah, like very like big angle, but it's possible. I showed it myself, and what I say, you need to be focused in mountains, and especially on such mountain as K2, because every like even small mistake can cost you the biggest thing in your life. So you need to follow you need to check every step what you do there. Yeah, of course,
And
there
your team
are
is such a big piece of that, right? Like, how do you choose climbing partners in a climbing team that you can really trust with that fear and that risk?
yeah, it's very important, the company with whom you are going, the team. And I have these people whom I trust. They are Nepalese. It's Nepalese company. I was going with them for, to my first Everest, and that's it. From that moment, I'm always with them. So I trust them, and I know that they will do their best. So yeah, in this term, I rely on them in all these technical terms, because it's very important how ropes are fixed. They brought all the service and infrastructure and everything, and the fixing teams, so it became more safe.
Interesting. Do you climb with a lot of other women, and what challenges do you think women mountaineers face that men don't necessarily have to?
What I see now is that high altitude mountaineering is taking the woman face, I would say, because there are much more women these recent years, in high mountains, and they are very strong. I know I have so many friends from all over the world, and these women are amazing. They are doing incredible achievements, and I can say the main problem which women are struggling and men do not have is our hygiene. So it's probably periods. And of course, overall, men are stronger. The man body is stronger, yeah. But I think overall, in all other senses, there's no much more like a lot of difference between men and women. Actually, there's some kind of gender blurring, or I don't know how to say it properly, yeah. But on the altitude higher, for example, than 6.5 maybe, you don't feel too much as a woman. I mean, you feel like a human being there. And all those conditions which we have, toilets, etc. And sometimes you need to go in the toilet in the tent, being with other men, and everyone accepts it's like normal. Yeah, you are there like mountaineer, not like a woman or a man on these very high altitudes.
Yeah. Do you have any tips for managing your menstrual cycle when you're up at high altitude and cramped spaces and all that?
No tips. Unfortunately, we should struggle with this.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it happens like before because of very big load on the body, physical, and because maybe of the atmospheric pressure or altitude, I don't know, altogether, it just changes your cycle, and sometimes you just don't have those periods during the whole expedition, like 1.5 months.
Right.
And if you have them in base camp, it's okay, because base camp is the most comfortable place on the mountain. But of course, if you have it on a summit push night, it can give you more problems. And actually, I experienced that, not once.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
so at least you need to have painkillers like
Right.
ibuprofen. Yeah.
Okay. When I read that you summited both Everest and Lhotse in a single day. I was like, that's not possible. How is that possible? And then I Googled it and you did do it. You weren't lying. I'm so curious to hear the recap of that story, that expedition, and what drove your mind and your body forward during an expedition like that.
When I went to this kind of adventure, it was my third Everest. I was doubting till the last moment that I can do it. Because I know how you feel after Everest summit push night when you come back to Camp 4. You are like dead body, You can't move. You're completely out of energy and power. And knowing this, I didn't understand how I will feel after this first summit push and how to go straight away to the other one. But it appeared like all good. Like I felt really good, of course, because it was my third Everest. If it would be from the big, like the first experience, never. I think I couldn't do this. But because I already I got used to climb Everest. So I felt quite okay when it came down to Camp 4. And then because of the weather, plans changed a bit because I wanted to go straight away, like come down, spend maybe 1 hour or two, and proceed. But strong wind started, and we should stay in the tent for around, I think, 8 hours. So we were waiting, for weather to improve. And only then we started to move. And I felt so good. I was so fast. And because I wanted to do it like in 24 hours, and somehow
Summit to summit, right?
Yeah, quite late to start because of weather, because we were just very slow. I understood that my time is running out and I was pushing everybody. I had cameramen as well because we were making we were filming. I was pushing Sherpa, cameraman. So at the end, we managed to do it very fast and I felt very good. So you see, you never know before you try.
How many hours did it take to go from summit to summit?
Exactly 24 hours.
Wow. So you just made it.
Yeah, I just made it. It was
Wow.
like 6 o'clock in the morning. I was standing on Everest, and then 6 o'clock next day, Lhotse. But I can definitely say that you can do it faster, of course.
Yeah, if the weather's in your favor.
If the weather is okay, yeah. You can actually proceed after 2 hours of rest straight away, and then you will manage.
Wow. So you connected the mountains with like a ridge or something? How did you go from Everest to Lhotse? Is there a pass or something?
It's a pass. Actually, what is good, why there is a possibility overall to climb 2 8,000ers in one day? It's only with these two, Everest and Lhotse, because of how they are situated. Yeah, they are very close. And actually, the way to both mountains till Camp 3 is same. So what you do is that at one point you split the route is splitted, and then you go either to Camp 4 Lhotse or Camp 4 Everest. And Camp 4 Everest, of course, is a bit higher. Yeah. So when you climb these two peaks in one day, you go to Camp 4 Everest, then coming back a bit to Camp 4 Lhotse and go up.
Got it.
You are
but not a lot of
that.
people have done that, right? You're one of the only people. Do you know how many?
I don't know exactly how many, but I know people who did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know them. My friends.
Very cool.
Did. Yeah.
That is mind-blowing to me. I know you talk a lot about seeing women getting stuck in their goals, and it's usually because of their own beliefs that are happening in their brain as opposed to how their bodies actually have potential. So what do you want to share with women to help them work through those limiting beliefs?
This is why I'm actually sharing my story, because I was exactly same woman, city girl. I didn't know what are my limits? But we will never know our limits before we start. So first of all, you need to start. It doesn't mean you need to go to mountains. Even if you want to quit the job which you don't like, you need to quit it. Otherwise, you, you your life will be getting worse. You will not stay at one point, at the same point. If you're staying at the same point, it means you're going down. And to to make life more interesting and the life which you want to live, you need to make decisions. Like the whole life is about decisions. And how you make them, how fast maybe, or how courageous, that's how you live your life after. Yeah. And if you're always afraid to do this decision, then just sit and think to yourself, how my life will look like in 10 years. Do I want to live this kind of life, or I want a different one? And I think the answer is very clear. You always know the truth inside. So you just need to take yourself together and go through this first decision. I always say that the first step is the most important step. And even, sometimes for women, for people overall, their goals seem very big and like unachievable. But what I can say, every time when I come to a huge mountain like Everest, doesn't matter, K2, and I watch at it, still I think every time how it's possible to climb it. I just cannot understand. But now I know that I will climb because I will do small steps. And with these small steps, I will come to the summit. It's just a matter of time and efforts. That's it. So it works same in life. You just split your big goal into small steps and start moving and follow nearest 10 steps. Like think about them. Don't think about like huge, the whole huge further result. And that's how you can really change your life. Or it it works both ways, whether you want to change something which you don't like, or you want to start something that you like very much but still do not do it till now. Yeah, just do it.
Which it sounds like that's what happened in your early days too. I mean, you went through this breakup and then within a matter of weeks, you were traveling across the world to climb. And I think that's amazing that you can have such a deep trust in your intuition to make those decisions. But what about the women who have obstacles like, I don't know, say they have a family that they have to take care of, or it's really expensive to go mountaineering. What if they don't have money? Like, how can they trust those first steps if they feel like their resources or their time are limited?
Of course, everything depends on the situation, and that's why I say you don't need necessarily to choose mountains, because at that point of my life when I decided to go to Antarctica, I had this possibility, yeah, financial, and overall I didn't have children, yeah, and I was lucky because of that at that point of life. But you can create your own other goal, which can be achievable for you. I don't know, to go to some dancing classes, for example. Now for me, like dancing is something that I want to master, and I want to go and learn. And for me it's same like Everest, because at one, for somebody else, because it's new for me, I never danced before. And it's very exciting, and it doesn't take so much time, so much money. Yeah, you can just go and apply in there, like 200 meters from your home. And I think even being in family, you can afford this. Just what recently I understand, the person should make his or her life interesting for himself. Yeah, and interests are always different for everybody. Yeah, maybe you just want to be a florist. To work with flowers, to make beautiful bouquets, and it can be your amazing life journey. You can just create your own dream. It
Yeah.
can be any kind of dream, and you know, at one point I thought that Everest is also very unrealistic for me in terms of in financial terms as well. But then when you have very big dream and you think about it, somehow life starts to change in the direction necessary for you. That's how life works. It's definitely like that. This is what I understood in these 4 years.
I love that. How are you incorporating bits of fear into your everyday life when you're not in the mountains? Because we talked about how important it is to open the door to fear. Are you still able to do that when you're not on in the Himalaya? Like, can you just do that in your city life?
I'm trying to implement this in everyday life. Yeah, and I can say, not so long time ago, I had the first podcast, like US podcast in English, and it was scary for me. It was. I didn't know how it will go because I am talking a lot and I have a lot of interviews in Ukraine in English, and it was a challenge for me. I was really afraid because I didn't know how it will go, whether I will understand properly the host and overall. I did many times this in Ukraine, but in English it's very different, and I also understood I want this. I want like to go that direction. So I need to overcome myself. And that's it. I made that first podcast, then the other one, and the other one. And now I'm sitting and talking. Normally I'm not so much, stressed out because but at you just at one point need to do this. Nobody will do it for you if you want it. So this is like very small example from recent
Love it.
time. Yeah, like yeah, and every day. Sometimes also like um, maybe I'm afraid to. Sometimes the most of the time we are afraid of something that is important for us, like that we are like want to do, uh, but in our imagination starts to create like that. Oh, because it's so important, then you start to have more and more fear in terms of that, and uh, and at one point you decide that no, I will go and talk to this person, or I will go and ask this question. And usually what helps me also, I ask myself, okay, if I will do this, what can be bad? what will what what can be bad if I will go and do
Yeah.
nothing? It's just an experience always. And when I went for my first Everest, I called my dad, and I told him the whole story, like whether should I go or no. And he said, mm, that it's better always to go and try and not to succeed than not to try at all. And it just went to my mind so deeply, and now always I remember what he told me. It works everywhere, not only in mountains. Always better to try and do than
And
not to
that's how
try.
we feel. I mean, part of the point of this podcast is to help women share their own stories, because we see a lot of mountaineering media that features a lot of men, or American men, British men, a lot of the same voices all the time, and there's so many more stories out there that the media doesn't pick up because they're women or they're from different countries or whatever, and so we really love encouraging women to use their voice and share their stories, even if they're not the predominant message in the media right now. As you've climbed more and shared more in media and gotten more sponsors and all of that, like, what have you had to learn about using your own voice and getting over the fear of public speaking and all that?
I am getting over my fear
Still
of
in it?
public speaking. I'm still in it, because when you are doing speaking with 25 people and then you invited to the event when there is 800, you have the fear. It's like a bigger responsibility probably, yeah. And also, um, sometimes you need to do work for your sponsors, which is also can be new for you. And every time, the only one, just do it. There's no other way. And remember that sometimes you should always take someone else, like I can't say like an example, but understand that same woman like me did this. Why I can't? I can as well.
What do you have to say to younger girls, say teenagers, or maybe other children growing up in Ukraine? Do you have any advice for them on how they can say they want to climb K2 or Everest one day?
Yes, follow your dreams and stay with your dreams. Even when it seems impossible, it is possible. Nothing is impossible. There is a nice movie, Nothing is Impossible, about mountains. And this what these giants showed me, that I'm so much more capable of than I think of myself. And it relates to any girl. Believe me, when you think that this is the limit, this is not. This is only maybe 20% of your limit. So always push yourself further. Explore your limits. And also to younger generation, what I would love to say, go outside. Go outside. Go explore the world. Don't be always on social media or in the phone. The real world is so amazing that you need to be a part of it. Do not skip this part.
So a lot of people would say, well, like, you've been to the limits. You've been to these highest mountains in the world. So what limits are you pushing? What's ahead for you?
My next goal is Nanga Parbat, which is 8,000 in Pakistan. And it's supposed to be the most difficult in technical terms. So we will see how I will manage it. It's more difficult than K2. Nevertheless, not so many people know about it. It's quite difficult even to pronounce. But this is my next goal. And overall, I would love to summit all 14 to finish this crown of Earth, to finish this project.
Do you have any big fears around that?
No. Around that, no. I have. I just hope that life will give me possibilities to do that, and I trust the life and the process, and I think if it should happen with me, it will happen.
I love the lens through which Antonina always looks. Life is giving you possibilities around every turn. I hope that you'll grasp a new possibility this summer, too. Now, I have a favor to ask you. Sharing this podcast with a friend is by far the #1 way to support us in building this show. So would you please send a link to any episode that you love to a friend who would like it too? You'll help us keep creating episodes that can close the gender gap and diversify adventure media. And the 5-star rating and review from you will help us keep creating episodes that inspire women and girls to share their own voices and adventures with others. See Her Outside is brought to you by the Alliance for Gender Equity and Outdoor Adventure, hosted by me, Angie Lake, and edited by Allison Castonguay. Make sure you hit the subscribe or follow button now so that you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, go get outside.